Guys, you're here with Goran, and thank you for joining me here for your free picks for the MLS on Saturday, April 20th. Well, guys, in addition to all the games all over Europe in the top five European Football League, which you can find free picks for in the separate video, and including that parlay of the day, it's a nice four-legger. We have 12 games on the schedule in the MLS, and every single game is in the evening. There are no early games, afternoon games, that is. And every single game kicks off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time or later than that. So it's going to be an interesting evening. I know that there are some other sports that are kicking off with the playoffs, NBA, NHL as well. And there's also baseball going on right now, and the picks for that you can find up on the Pickdawgz YouTube channel. So check it out, guys. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button as well. As usual, feel free to leave a comment on any of these soccer videos, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of the questions that you might have. And of course, my best bets, you can click the link in the description. That will get you up to my page where you can sign up, get a daily pass, 3-day pass, 7-day pass, or even a month-long pass if that's something you want to do. Let me just say that those long-term passes, like a 3-day pass or a 7-day pass, are definitely your best value because you're getting every single one of my pick for the next 3 or 7 days, depending on your purchase. And for Saturday included, if you get let's say a 3-day pass, you get all of my picks from Europe, which will probably be a 5 pack, and then probably the 5 picks for the MLS as well. Let's get this show on the road, guys. We are going to kick it off with Atlanta versus Cincinnati, which could be a very interesting game because teams do struggle against Atlanta when they're playing on the road because of that turf that they have going on. And let's be honest, Cincinnati hasn't won any of their last 3 games, and they're a bit of a sloppy team right now on the defensive end. I learned that we have to be a little bit more careful with the MLS right now because things change quickly. Sometimes you will see a team scoring 4 goals in a game, and then in the next game they will score zero, they will lose it. And maybe there are a few picks that will be a bit juiced in this video just because I'm trying to be a little bit more careful and get us more winners than usual, but it's still definitely worth a shot. As far as Atlanta goes, still undefeated at home this season. They're playing their best football at home. They have scored 11 goals at home and conceded only three. While Cincinnati on the other side is not conceding a lot, 5 goals on the road in 4 games, but they have been gaining a little bit more momentum in that attacking end. And with that in mind, guys, I'm taking both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at minus 105. Montreal is hosting Orlando in the next matchup, and as we can see, the books consider this to be pretty even matchup, and I do agree about it. But I gotta be honest, Orlando, when playing on the road, is horrible. They have 1 win, 2 draws, only 3 scored goals in 3 games, and 9 conceded goals. Now, this is well, it's not a must-win game for Montreal, but they have beaten Orlando in their last 3 home games, and I think that they will beat them here as well. They are coming off of a solid performance, and they are getting better and better with every game. And with that in mind, I'm going to take Montreal on the money line at plus 162. Columbus and Portland should be a very interesting matchup as well. Columbus undefeated in their last 5 games, Portland undefeated in their last two, but both teams have a lot of draws over the last few weeks. And on top of that, Columbus is playing next week against Monterrey in that CONCACAF Champions Cup semifinals, and I think that they might be resting some players for that game here, so we might see a little bit of a shuffled lineup here from Columbus. But then again, Portland on the road is, I would say, pretty much all over the place. So I'm gonna go with the first half draw at plus 130. I think that if anything is gonna happen, it's gonna be the second half. But I also wouldn't be surprised to see a 1-1 or something like that at halftime at all. So Columbus versus Portland, first half draw at plus 130. Inter Miami is hosting Nashville in the next matchup, and this should be a very interesting matchup. Inter Miami is actually leading the MLS right now with 15 points. They have scored 19 goals in 9 games, conceded 14, which basically tells me they have zero defense right now. And that is going to be a chance for Nashville to show up and do something in this game. Um, Obviously, Inter Miami is the favorite here, and they haven't lost to Nashville in any of their last three home games. But as we can see, they can't keep a clean sheet. So I'm going to go for the full value here, and that is Inter Miami to win and both teams to score at plus 157. New York City FC is hosting DC United, and I think this is going to be a fairly even matchup. I think it's going to be a close game. New York City has been showing a lot more firepower in the attack again, a lot more stability than they have been for probably the last couple of seasons. While DC United has had a solid start to the season, they have Christian Benteke up front who is leading the charge. But they're getting into this game with a few suspended players and a few injuries, and that will reduce their depth quite a bit. Like I said, I think that DC United especially will focus a little bit more on defense here in this game, especially in the first half. And this is going to be another game where I'm going to go with the first half draw at plus 122. Toronto is hosting New England, and I gotta be honest, they could not get a better opponent to get back on the winning track. Toronto has lost four of their last five games. They have lost their last three games in a row. However, they got very, very close against Charlotte last week. They had a 2-2 draw until what, 86th minute or something like that. And luckily for them, New England right now is in a bit of a sloppy form, and this is actually their third game on the road in a row, and they are struggling a lot. They lost 2-0 to New York City, and like I said, I think that Toronto couldn't get a better opponent right now to get back on the winning track. They are playing at home. Yes, they will be without Lorenzo Insigne once again. They're missing a few other players as well, but I think that they're due for a nice performance. They have been improving with every game, and I think that's going to come to light in this one. So I'm taking Toronto on the money line at plus 137. Chicago and Salt Lake should be a very interesting matchup because Chicago has been gaining a little bit of momentum, and so was Salt Lake City. Both of the teams played a nil-nil draw last week. Chicago got a nil-nil draw against Red Bulls. Salt Lake got a nil-nil draw against Columbus at home. And I think that's going to be completely different in this game. Defensively, neither team is that solid, especially Chicago. They're conceding goals, whether they play at home or on the road. But they can also score goals right now. So I'm going to go with both teams to score at minus 167. Houston and Austin is that Texas Derby that we have going on Saturday. That's an 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time game. And Houston is actually playing really well right now. They have won four of their last five games, while Austin, they're such a sloppy team when playing on the road. They haven't scored a goal in any of their last three games on the road. They have lost two of those three, and we really can't rely on them doing anything when playing on the road. So I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna take Houston on the money line at minus 139. Kansas and St. Louis should be a very interesting matchup in the MLS as well. St. Louis is coming off of a 1-0 win against Austin, and this is their second clean sheet in a row. I just don't see it happening third time. I think this was a fluke, if I'm being honest. Well, fluke can happen twice, but Kansas is scoring a lot of goals right now. They are a very competitive team. They are coming off of a loss to Inter Miami, yes, but we're playing at home. They have scored seven goals in their last three games. However, defensively they are a mess. They have been conceding more than scoring actually, and this is going to be a great opportunity for St. Louis to do something in this game. So I think the goals are the way to go once again in this one, and I'm going to take over 2.5 goals at minus 154. Maybe I decide to stretch it to over three on the Asian line and get it close to plus money. And I think the least we would get that way would be the push. Colorado and Dallas are facing off in the next matchup. Colorado is actually playing an outstanding football this season. I can honestly say I did not expect that from them, but they have gained a lot of momentum and they have now lost only one of their last six games. Dallas, on the other side, is exactly the opposite. They haven't won any of their last six games. They have one draw and two losses when playing on the road. And Colorado actually hasn't lost to Dallas in any of their last 10 home games, which is actually quite a long streak, seeing that Colorado was struggling for the last couple of seasons. I think this is going to be another highly competitive match. Dallas, they're not producing a lot, I got to be honest, but Colorado, I believe that they might be overperforming a little bit on the defensive end. And with that in mind, I'm taking both teams to score at minus 114. In the LA, guys, we have LAFC hosting Red Bulls, New York Red Bulls, that is, and I think that's going to be a great game. Honestly, I don't think that LAFC should be as big of a favorite as they are because New York Red Bulls are playing really well right now. They're playing too well for us not to take them to score a goal. Can they keep a clean sheet? I don't think so because LAFC at home is a very, very solid team when it comes to scoring goals. However, New York Red Bulls are playing outstandingly well right now. So I'm going to take both teams to score at minus 122. And I honestly wouldn't blame you if you push that to over 2.5 as well. The last game of the day in the MLS is the derby on the West Coast between Seattle and Vancouver Whitecaps. Seattle undefeated in their last two games, and after scoring 5 goals against Montreal, they went to play against Dallas, and they haven't done anything. It was a nil-nil draw. It was an incredibly boring game, and that's something they will have to change if they want to beat Vancouver here. Vancouver, offensively, they have a lot of firepower, like really, really a lot of firepower. Even though they ended up losing to LA Galaxy 3-1 at home, uh, I could see this potentially be a good bounce back spot for them. I know that Seattle hasn't lost to Vancouver in their last 10 home games, but Vancouver is very, very strong this season, and Seattle is very, very inconsistent. So uh, I could potentially see myself putting half a unit on Vancouver to win this one, but as my official pick, guys, I'm taking both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, and that is at plus 122. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. These were free picks for the MLS on Saturday. I hope you have a great day, guys. Good luck with all of your bets in the morning. Good luck with all of your bets in the evening. And let's win some money together, guys. I'll see you soon with more free picks.